I don't do intros. How you guys doing today? I'm doing alright today. Today we're back with another Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree build video for you guys. Today we are looking at a optimized, actually an optimized madness build, man. Normally I don't make optimized builds. I normally make like kind of roleplay-ish builds, but I figured that there's a lot of madness stuff in the DLC that I think that everyone could have fun with. One of my favorite things to do in the DLC right now is to use Nanaya's torch plus the Sword of Damnation, which you just see me do right there. It's not a true combo, but you can proc madness real easy with Nanaya's torch, and you can get that golden crux Ash of War off with the Sword of Damnation. Almost like a true combo, but not quite. But you have to time it really right. So as soon as they get out of the madness animation, they're going to be able to have iframes on their roll. So you have to kind of time it and roll catch them with it, if they even roll at all. But thankfully that Ash of War is kind of insane, so yeah, there's that. Anyway guys, before we go any further and we talk more about this build, be sure to like and subscribe to the video, man. We're trying to get to 2K subs here on the channel, and here is a Midra's Flame of Frenzy kill for you. Go ahead and like the video if you enjoyed that. You might be wondering a couple things. Why are you talking so low? Normally you don't talk this low. Well, the reason is because I moved houses, actually. I'm still in the middle of moving houses, and so I have a new room and, you know, stuff like that. So I'm recording this at 3 o'clock in the morning. My walls are no longer soundproof, so I kind of have to keep my voice a little bit down. If you guys can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, let me know the volume, how the volume is and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, I think it's time to talk about this insane build. Here's another of my favorite combo right here. I guess we can start with the Sword of Damnation. So the Sword of Damnation is what you're seeing me use here. It's probably one of my favorite weapons added in the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, but it kind of is a double-edged sword because it kind of disappoints me in a lot of ways, and it makes me happy in a lot of ways. So this is the sword that you get from the remembrance of Midra, the Lord of Frenzy. He's the Frenzy boss, and you fight him in this area right here. It's called the Midra's Manse. It's like a little manor in the Madness place if you haven't found it already. I guess spoilers alert for anyone who hasn't finished the DLC. But yeah, so there's a frenzied boss that you fight, and he drops the Sword of Damnation. He doesn't drop it, but you get it from his remembrance or something like that. You also get the spell Midra's Flame of Frenzy as well, which you've seen me kill someone with earlier. So the thing about the Sword of Damnation is that it has a really good Ash of War. It gets dropped by the Frenzied Flame boss. And I don't know, man. It's good in a lot of ways, right? So I like great swords. I'm a big fan of great swords. Here's an L2 Matting Hand kill, by the way. We'll talk about the Matting Hand kill in a bit. But the thing about the Sword of Damnation that kind of gets me down a little bit is that it's a great sword, and it has the Claymore moveset, which is awesome. It's amazing. It's a somber weapon, but for some reason it has holy damage on it. I don't know why. This sword dropped by the Madness Frenzied boss has holy damage on it. I think that it should have been split fire damage, and I think it should have been had a little bit of madness build up on it, personally. That's just me. There's probably some kind of weird lore reason as to why it doesn't, but I'm not the lore guy. If you want to watch the lore guy, go watch Vati video or something like that. Anyway, about this whole madness setup. So we're doing a few things to buff our madness power. So we have on all the frenzy spells, all of them except for Unendurable Frenzy, because I think Unendurable Frenzy sucks balls. So does Midra's Flame. It also sucks balls, but I do it on this build anyway because it's a new spell, and I actually managed to kill somebody with it, which you saw earlier. This is pretty sick too, so I love Inescapable Frenzy. Look at this. Awesome. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're doing to buff our damage with this build. So Nanaya's Torch does an insane amount of madness buildup. It just does. Like, if you just run somebody down with it, they'll get madnessed. And every time you madness someone, you are getting a damage buff by 2 things on this build. So there's a new talisman called the Aged One's Exaltation. It's kind of like the Lord of Blood Exaltation and the Rotten Exaltation, something like that. Basically, when madness is caused in your vicinity, you get a power buff, and it stacks with the new weapon in the game called the Matting Glove. That also increases your damage when things get madnessed in your vicinity. It also counts for yourself, so if you get madnessed or if you madness someone else, that damage stacks together. Now, there was one item in the base game that also did this, but it only counted if you're madnessed yourself, and that is the Black Dumpling, the headpiece that you see me wearing in this video right here. So effectively, we have 3 things that buff our damage when we madness either ourselves or somebody else. Now, there's lots of things in the game that you can use to madness yourself. All of the madness spells madness you. Nanaya's Torch can give you a good amount of madness, but the 2 best things to use for madnessing yourself are Halif Shibriri, which gives you a good damage buff, but also you have to kind of weigh it with the fact that you take more damage when you use it. And Midra's Flame, obviously it'll madness you pretty quickly. It might actually madness you if you have a good amount of mind, right? If you have 38, 36 mind, it actually might madness you before you run out of mana, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, that actually might be the case. Now, me personally, I think the best madness weapon in the game is Nanaya's Torch, man. Besides, like, all the bugs that it came with, which pretty much got fixed in the last patch that dropped today, actually. I think it's 1.12.3. They fixed all the bugs with Nanaya's Torch. Now, the only thing it does is madness, so that's good. Before, it had some kind of weird bug where it would proc a lot of different statuses, like Death Blight and whatnot, and people were obviously exploiting that. I didn't do that, of course. I'm a good boy. All I want to do is drive people crazy and frenzy the fuck out of them, which is what I did in this video. I hope you guys are enjoying this madness build, by the way. I did include a little bit of Vikes, you know. Something I didn't include in this video, though, is the madness perfume. I am going to upload a little short showing you guys how strong the madness perfume is. But otherwise, that is my Shadow of the Erdtree madness build. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. If you like this kind of content, this kind of PvP content, invasions, build making, man, I do it all. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video, man. We're trying to get to 2K subs here on the channel. Go and follow my Twitch if you haven't already. I live stream invasions over there sometimes. And join the PVPBuilds if you haven't already. It's the best place to communicate with me, and you can drop me your builds, your clips, whatever you want over there. There's people in there sharing stuff all the time. And with that being said, guys, fare thee well. Peace out. All that fun stuff. And with that being said, don't you dare go hollow, friends. I'll see you guys later, man.